Diaz again pushed back to the ropes easily, but again gets off pretty easily because Paul also isn't very good. Hardy does think Diaz is still a little hurt. He might be ready. Julian Love in the Paul corner recommending more jabs and boxing from Paul. It would work if he did it. Diaz is moving forward and letting his hands go, but there is still just nothing. Doesn't turn over his shots, doesn't sit down on them. They're hyping more pop from him now, but I don't really see it. I mean, I guess it's somewhat better. But he is unquestionably having a better round here and could win it in this round. Nate coming on here, getting the crowd riled up. Easily Nate's best round, and he did win this one. Paul with a body shot, Diaz feigns that he's doubled over but isn't, and Jake doesn't bite. Jake did predict a 5th round stoppage. Paul with a short right, a good one. Starting to pump his jab. Diaz breathing hard, but it's Nate Diaz, who knows? His gas tank is real and it's great, even when he looks tired. Marlon Esparza is like that. So there's your Nate Diaz / Marlon Esparza comparison for the night. Down goes Diaz. And he's hurt, but he's up. Paul trying to rush in for a finish here, going to the body with a right hand. Uppercut lands and Diaz is wobbled again. Diaz tagged with a left and he's rocking around. Diaz to the ropes, but back off, Paul lets him off. Paul back to the body. Diaz trying to flurry late in the round when he feels like he's got his head back a bit, but obviously a 10-8 Paul round. Paul continuing to control in the first minute here. The Diaz camp reportedly believes they can come back in the last 4 rounds. Dan Hardy suggests maybe defending or something. The fight might be close. It isn't, really. Paul continuing to land more and better shots. But he also isn't over-aggressive or trying to do too much. Right now he's just boxing away. Paul with a right hand to lead the round off. Nate still not actually doing anything effectively, but he is still in there. Nate with a little flurry after an effective Paul uppercut. Todd Grisham is really trying hard to paint this as competitive or close or something, but it really isn't. Strong round for Nate Diaz, Hardy offers. I do not see it. Paul landed better, harder shots again. Diaz plugged away but not enough to win it. Paul is definitely tiring some. I mean, it is what it is. It's later in the fight. But Paul is controlling the fight. Right now he's back to very basic boxing. Like week 1 stuff. And it's winning the round. Right hand from Paul. Left from Diaz in return, but Paul's shot was a lot better. Crowd comes alive for Diaz throwing arm punches and mostly missing. There's an actual solid uppercut from Nate, though. Woof, that one might have tipped this round to Nate if he finishes well. And I think it does, but barely, and debatable. There's a Nate flurry late with wild, swinging shots. Definitely got the round. Paul winning the first minute of this round. But Diaz slaps with a couple little shots, and they weren't bad. Good right from Paul. Diaz struggling to get in close this round, which is where he's really turned the fight in his favor at times, landing little dirty boxing type shots in close and then throwing away when they separate again a bit. That's where he's done some good work and outthought Jake, shown Paul something he doesn't see in boxing sparring. Nate's corner has told him he needs a knockout. Dan Hardy tries to nicely say that he doesn't and has never had that sort of power. Right to the body and a left up top from Paul. More little combination.